Hi, I'm Karen, and this is my picks for the AFC and NFC Championship games. So the first game that we'll talk about is the Baltimore Ravens and the New England Patriots. So the Baltimore Ravens, in last week's game, they won 2013 over the Texans. And Joe Flacco had 176 passing yards. They had no penalties. Joe Flacco was sacked 5 times for 36 yards. That was a really good game. It was a close game, just one score between them. It was a really tough game. I thought the Ravens played very well. I know they have no injuries. They're all going in there in fairly good shape. They did have a little scare there towards the end, but they said everyone's playing good, and it's going to be a strong team. New England Patriots, though, they won 45-10 over the Broncos. That was a really big win. The Tebow magic ended there, but we kind of figured that. Brady had 363 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception, so he was really hot going into that game. They had 2 penalties for 20 yards, 1 fumble. The Patriots looked really good. They were on their game. But again, they were playing the Broncos, who pretty much were running in the playoffs there on divine intervention, we all said. But Patriots look really good. I think it's going to be a tough game going against the Ravens. I think it's going to be a great game, a close game. But I think the Patriots are going to pull the win out on that one. And now my little Giant fan wants to get in the show, and she'll be wearing her little t-shirt tomorrow to root on the New York Giants, who are playing the San Francisco 49ers. Now, the New York Giants won 37-20 over the Green Bay Packers last week. Eli had 330 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. They had 3 penalties for 30 yards. And that was just an amazing game. That Hail Mary right before halftime to Hakeem Nicks, which actually you don't always see a Hail Mary work. But the Giants, they had a lot of difficulties. I think the referees there were a little against them. That fumble that should have been theirs, that was taken back. Roughing the passer, which if you look at those hits Eli was taking during that game, some of those should have been called. But hey, Giants still won that game, so we're not complaining there. But the Packers, really, they weren't looking themselves. They kind of were struggling a bit. Aaron Rodgers hadn't played since Christmas. So, they had a lot of dropped passes that should have been caught. So they weren't looking their normal selves. But the Giants, they played perfect. They had, their running game, looked good. Their defense looked great. Eli was on, and they were amazing. So they need to carry that type of playing into the game against the San Francisco 49ers, which had an amazing game last week against the New Orleans Saints. And they won out a 36-32 victory against the Saints. Smith had 299 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. They made 2 interceptions. But the thing is, that game with the Saints, it was like, at the ending of the game, in the last few minutes, it was like, Saints are winning, 49ers winning, Saints are winning, 49ers are winning, Saints are winning. Oh, no, the 49ers won. That was just one of those games that was just back and forth, and it was close. It was amazing. It was just, it was a really good game. Vernon Davis was playing great, Alex Smith, and was just, that team looked good. They looked solid, and this is going to be some matchup Sunday. It is going to be a great matchup. They've played it before. It was a close game before, but the Giants weren't playing their best last time. Now they're going in a much stronger team, a much solid team. They know what they're coming against. They both know what they're playing against. It's supposed to be poor weather. You know what? I think nothing's going to stop the momentum of the Giants. And usually I say you don't vote against the 49ers, but this time I'm voting against the 49ers, and I'm saying Giants all the way. So, wrap up for who I think is going to win. I think our Super Bowl is going to be the New England Patriots and the New York Giants. I think it's going to be a repeat, which will be good. That's going to be an interesting Super Bowl because it'll be a repeat of the Super Bowl where the Giants won, and then the Giants beat them this year. Which it still would be a horrible, to have the Ravens and the 49ers, two brothers, play. That would be an interesting Super Bowl too. But this is what I'm predicting our Super Bowl to be: Patriots and Giants. So enjoy this week of football, and we'll see you next week.